All right, what is up, guys? Will it go big? I'll do it manually. So, what is up, guys? Today is Friday, December 12th, and I have nothing better to do tonight. So, I'm just going to be back testing, and yeah, should be just super chill. Just going to back test a lot. I have nothing else to do. There's a lot of interesting price action from this past week that I really want to look at, and so feel free to stay as little or as much as you want. As always, I'm listening to music. This is kind of just what I do. Feel free to listen to your own music as well. And yeah, we're going to jump right into it. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know if you need anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch the song. Okay. So what we're looking at here is Wednesday, post FOMC going into Asia session. You guys may remember how Asian session Wednesday night went crazy. We had this giant dump, and I have a pretty good idea on why. We had a new day opening gap. Let me pull this up. So I updated this indicator, by the way. So it's actually, I can make them be lighter ocupacity. So that's super nice. Anyway, this was the new day opening gap for Tuesday, and we back test it with SMT, and then we sweep out the high. And then we get a change in state. What do I call this, guys? I haven't made a video on this yet, but what do I typically call this? I call this, I just made a name for it. If we get a change in state of delivery off of a new day opening gap, I like to call it, the shadow model, right? That's the name I made for change in state of delivery off of a new day opening gap. And it's just the nickname I gave it because I need to call it something, right? So we have a 1 minute change in state right here. New day opening gap. Sweep with SMT. The SMT is with YM. You can see that right here. And then we have a really nice strong liquidity. It's a data low. FOMC data low. And so from the change in state of delivery off of the new day opening gap to the FOMC data low, let's say we project out this. There's 7 projections. There's 8 projections. Let's say we had stop loss above the high like we should. Or actually, like, that might be fine. Yeah, let's say we had it. Actually, I'd probably have it like that. But yeah, you can see how this would have played out, right? 1 minute change in state. And you could have definitely gone more aggressive with the stop loss. So 1 minute change in state off of a new day opening gap with SMT. Pretty sweet. Right, so this is my shadow model. Alright, about to screenshot it. Wednesday at 2047. So let's go to Wednesday. Oh, I already have it pulled up. 20-47 shadow. And then the way I mark this out in my notes is I do new day opening gap aligned with whatever time frame I use for the change in state of delivery. And I do it like that. So 2047 is the time. Shadow model, that's the name of the model, aligning the new day opening gap with a 1 minute change in state. Alright. Let's look at something else. Let's look at something from today. We had a Phoenix model here, which is kind of cool. We also had shadow model again. So this is the same new day opening gap from before. No, it's not. Just kidding. It's a different one. From last Thursday. So this is typical behavior where we have a rejection block into the new day opening gap. So I really want to study this because this is important. So here's the new day opening gap. This is from last Thursday. So let's get rid of that now. Bang, bang, bang. So we might have SMT with this. I'm pretty sure we do. Otherwise I probably would not have called it Phoenix. Yeah, we have SMT with this high. So we go from the rejection block on the 1 minute. I actually want to mark this out as the new name for that new idea I have where you take a trade where you enter at the rejection block, so you enter at a Phoenix and then you pyramid at the 2022 entry and then you pyramid again at the breaker. I want to try that out. Let's see. This is actually super clean when you think about it like that. So SMT with the S. Thursday new day opening gap. Yeah, this is so sick. Hold up. SMT with ES. We go from the rejection block on the 1 minute to the 2022 entry. We have all these low resistance lows here. Dang, is trading getting easier? Like what? This looks easy, bro. So, from the rejection block to the 2022 model entry, which is, let's measure this out. Here's equilibrium. Bang. And then we have the breaker entry right there. Ooh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be real nice. Okay. Dang, this is so sick. So we go from the rejection block to the 2022 model, equilibrium of the displacement. Then we go to the breaker and the Fervaya gap. Dang, man. And then we go run liquidity. Man, I need to message FA, bro. Remember when FA was like, how much does this happen? Bro, it happens every day. We can even measure this out. And there's 4 projections. That's so sick. Holy. Could you imagine taking this? Be insane. From the rejection block to the 2022 Fervaya gap to the breaker and FEG. So sick. So how can I draw this out a little better? Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Such a cool trade. So entry number 1. So that's 12R. Entry number 2. Here, let's just put downward arrows. Yeah, man, at this point, this idea is insanely valid. I call it the Khufu stack, where basically what you're doing is you're entering at the rejection block. So bang, there's your entry. After you kind of start to move into profit, you prepare your next entry, which is going to be at equilibrium of the displacement leg at the gap. Bang, there's number 2. That also is in profit, so now you're trailing your stop again. You only have to risk one singular R. You don't have to risk 3R. You risk 1R here, you go break even. You risk 1R here, you go break even and trail. You risk 1R here, go break even and trail. So all of this is only risking actually 1R. And you get you get 12R plus 7R or 10R plus another 5R or another 6R. So what is that total? 6 plus 10 plus 12? Do the math. 12 plus 10 is 22. 28 RR hitting this one time. Only risking 1R. I mean, you think you could train yourself to hit this 1 in 28 times, you know? I would think. So 12R Phoenix, $10R 2022 model, and then 6R, or I think it was 6R breaker and provide gap. Such a sick idea. So I'm just gonna mark this out as 9:08. This was on Friday. This is today. So let's go and make a new folder for that. So 12/12/25, Friday. Guys, I have a feeling that I'm gonna get good at this soon. I just have a feeling. Like, I feel like it's only a matter of time before we lock this down. So 908 Khufu stack. So from the rejection block to the 2022 entry to the breaker and provide gap. Let's go at FA.
That's so sick.
You're young, you'll get good fast. You got too much time to learn, and you're starting early, man. You will be successful. Just do what you're doing, and you'll get there. You got this, dude. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, this is insane. This is insane. And also, I know you say I'm young, but to me, I feel like I've been grinding for so long. It feels like I don't know. It just constantly feels like I'm behind, bro. Look at this. Once again, this occurs in the market. This is going to repeat itself over and over. We're going to go from the Phoenix entry to the 2022 entry to the breaker and fair value gap. And all together, all three of these entries are going to form a sell model. We'll push up into the rejection block. What is a rejection block? It is the wick of a swing high. It's high probability because it pushed up into the new day opening gap with SMT. So bang, there's the rejection block entry. Displacement low or breaking structure. So merge these two candles together above equilibrium. What is that? That's a gap above equilibrium. Here's the 2022 entry. Bang. You've already trailed your stop from the rejection block. So now you're in the 2022 entry. So we have 12R from the Phoenix, 10R from the 2022 entry, break lower. We got really obvious strong liquidity here. Break lower. We have a breaker and a fair value gap. Push lower, boom, back up into it, bang. Right from that breaker and fair value gap entry. There's the final cherry on top. Now we have only risking 1R. We have entered with 3R, and we get a 28R trade with only risking 1R. Because it's 12R Phoenix plus a 10R 2022 model plus a 6R breaker and fair value gap put together into a market maker sell model. If that is not the coolest thing, that is so sick. I hope at least someone's watching this because that is so cool. Genuinely insane. And it's not hindsight. It's not hindsight because I saw both of these things live. Look, here's me noticing the Phoenix. Nice 1 minute Phoenix off the new day opening gap. Then I literally caught the 2022 model on paper. I literally caught the 2022 model. So I noticed the Phoenix and I catch the 2022 model. I just didn't put together it was a whole entire sell model. If I could have figured that out, that would have been great. It would be, oh man, if this fits in a GB range, that would make a lot of sense. I don't expect it to, but if it does, that'd be crazy. The more I study Goldbach, the more I realize it won't fit in all the time. Sometimes it won't. And that's okay. Yeah, see, it doesn't fit in that well. And like I said, that's fine. One thing I will note is the breaker and fair value gap. We have that fair value gap within the fair value gap partition, and we go to the opposing FVG partition. So when we move from one partition in the dealing range, we go usually to the opposing partition. So that's something to remember. Okay, I'm going on another break now. But yeah, this is pretty sweet. And that's also a pin bar, not to mention. Anyway. So yeah, it was also a pin bar trade. So, right here. Dude, this is crazy. That's so sick. Do you guys see that? And then here's CE as well. So we can project out the pin bar. 8 projections. Dude. 8 projections of the pin bar. Perfectly. Nah. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my gosh, bro. 8 projections of the pin bar. Perfectly. What the heck? Guys, this is what happens when you just pursue truth in the market. Like, ever since the day one of me starting trading, I've always just said, I just want to find out how the market actually moves. I don't care about any preconceived notions or anything like that. I'm just here to observe the market and learn. And when you do that, you learn so much. It's crazy. Okay, so this is a 1-minute peep pin bar at 9:07. So yeah, 9:07 pin bar, 1 minute. That's pretty sick. Okay, we'll be on the lookout for more. I'm gonna take another break. Might get something to eat. So interesting. Should we look at something else? I mean, you can make the case this is also shadow model. Why? Here's a 1 minute change in state off the end dog. It's not complicated. It's so simple. It's actually laughable. It is laughable. Here's 8 projections. Same thing. So this is shadow model right here. Once again, obvious strong liquidity being the end dog. I mean, being the LRLR. I need to make a video on the shadow model because I think it's, man, it is really good. Let's see if this was a 369 time. See, look at that. Look at that. 909. Bang. So sick. (907) shadow model and dog aligned with the 1 minute. Okay, taking another break. Alright. So let's look at something else now. This might have been an outside bar. Okay, so it was for sure a pin bar. It was also CRT. Oh, you know what? This was Genesis. So we sweep out the high. See that? We sweep out the high. Yo, what up, Wick Sauce? It's been forever. We're just looking at how we went from... I don't know if you trade rejection blocks, bro, but we went perfectly off of the rejection block. So you can see there's that rejection block entry. That's 8R right there off of the rejection block, off the New Day opening gap. Then we break structure. We have a 2 minute 2022 model right here. And then I was also showing how it was a breaker and fair value gap. So we have a breaker here and a fair value gap. And it's just like, it's crazy because you could have caught every single entry within the market maker sell model here. We have, let's see, buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve, I think. My brain's not working right now. But yeah, market maker sell model. Now what I'm looking at is, this is a 2 minute CRT. We have a high that gets swept. We have a high here. We have a sweep and close back lower. So we know the draw on liquidity now becomes the low. So kind of cool. So yeah. Cool stuff. Dude, you got some you got some good knowledge though. I want to learn from you sometime. You definitely know what you're doing. You're a smart dude. From what I've seen in your server. Whoops. So there's CRT high, there's CRT low. Bang. So we can take this and project it out. This is going to be the Genesis entry. So you want to enter above the open or the close of that manipulation candle, whichever one is higher. And it's going to be an optimal entry point for shorts to target the opposing end of the CRT. Pretty sweet. We can drop down to a low time frame, so like 30-second, and we can see how exactly this plays out here. There's 940, bang, and then we deliver to the CRT low. You'd have to be so fast with it, because if you don't get that entry right there, I guess you have 30 more seconds to get an entry within this, but then shortly after we do dump. So you kind of have to be fast with it. That's 6.8R. Not too bad. Screenshot that. So what is that? 940. Genesis, and this is on the it's a 2 minute aligned with the, actually we'll just call it 2 minute. What do I normally do? Do I align it with anything or no? I do. I'm pretty sure I do. Like the 15-second. Usual. That's usually what I do. Okay, let's re-screenshot it then. Okay, so 940, Genesis entry, aligning the 2 minute CRT with a 15-second, yeah, with just the entry on the 15-second. Alright, take another break. Alright. So, okay, what do we look at next? We could do a screenshot of the higher time frame just so we have the idea, right? So there's the higher time frame. There's the CRT high, the sweep, the CRT low. Yeah, pretty sweet. Alright, what else do we look at, guys? The first presented for value gap was within this. It got inversed and back tested. I don't like the wick on this inversion, but there's probably a first strike when we come back up and then go lower. So I want to look at that. Because, once again, here's first presented for value gap. It gets inversed. So, logically, we take 15-second change in state to short, right, within that. Or 5-second. Probably need a 5-second one, realistically. Yeah, and you can see we go lower. We perfectly back test it. 15-second change in state right there. So there's 15-second change in state off of the first presented for value gap. We retest it perfectly. We can project this out, 8 projections, and there we go. That's first strike. I mean, you could have entered on the close, but the closed super low. So that is a concern. Was there a 15-second one? Maybe. Not an obvious one. So 5-second one would have to do here. So sick. Alright. Yeah, that is really nice. So there's first strike. I swear, first strike is often better when it becomes a first presented inversion for value gap. But I don't know. It's maybe what I've noticed in the past. 9:43. First strike. 1 minute aligned with the 15-second. Bang. Clean as heck. And my AirPod needs to charge. So I guess I'll go on another break here. Yeah, there's first strike. Yep, down 8 projections. 8R. If you went like that, it'd be 17R, but I wouldn't do that. Crazy stuff, guys. Just insane. Oh, man. I meant 5-second. Okay, let's look at something else. So, back to the 1 minute chart. The first presented for Value Gap did inverse. Had it not had this giant wick, I probably would have liked it a little more. But besides that, I mean, it wouldn't be bad. But yeah, that's a big reason for why we got this just instant dump. That's why having a reactionary mindset can be nice. Hey, this is an outside bar to the upside that actually failed. What should we look at now? This was probably an even higher time frame market maker sell model. Like if we go to the 5 minute or the 15 minute, this might have just been, I was gonna say maybe it was a 15-minute Phoenix model, but it's not really looking like it. But it probably was a sniper model. Yeah. We come hit OTE of a manipulation right there. With not SMT with that high, but with that high. I kind of like that. So this is I'm actually gonna, I would say take this as a flow state stack. So just enter right at the 5 minute change in state, and then if we come up to OTE, you can enter again. So instead of 1R, you're risking 1.3R. But for this specific kind of trade, in my opinion, that's fine. So I call this the flow state stack, where you enter once on the CISD retest, and then once at OTE. So there we go. We have SMT with this high. So I'd probably just target 4 projections here. Just like that, bang, bang. There's entry number 1, there's entry number 2. So risking 1.3R, you get back 4R plus plus like 12. It's like 12R. Oh, let's also mark out this. Bang. Probably a 1 hour. Oh, we don't even have. We need to check for a 1 hour key level. There almost certainly was. Yeah. 1 hour gap. Whoops. So once again, so this is a flow state stack. So 930 flow state stack, meaning we take the regular entry which is on the retest of the change in state of delivery, which is a down close candle that got closed below, and then we retest that red line, delivering from a higher time from key level. So we hit the change in state, then we hit the sniper entry, and then we go lower. So we get both orders filled. Flow state stack, 1 hour, fair value gap aligned with the 5-minute change in state. Might take another break. I might end the stream for now. Probably just gonna end the stream for now. I'll talk to you.